Elevator? Yeah, alright. Rice, I'm gonna kick the shit out of you.
Let me offer you a bit of accompaniment.
What?
The music of suffering, played by slaves. Perfect for a slave.
What are you implying here? Like, what's this music supposed to do?
Come on, faster, goddammit.
Oh, it's gonna fall. I'm gonna have to grab onto something, right? It's losing steam. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Alright, never mind. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like I'm just swinging slower with less power. It might be due to the fact that, like, my character, or, you know, Crane is having some issues. That would make sense. This really is stupid. I shouldn't be doing this. Okay. How's that? I think a part of it actually has to do with my controller. This thing is old as shit, and the buttons are a little bit sticky on occasion. Alright. Where do I go? Up here. God damn it. Of course, I still can't use this. Ah, there we are. Perfect. Now what? Here? There we are. Oh! It's Kareem.
Crane, Rais said you would come. You've been shot. What the fuck is going on? This is what we get for trying to make a living. Rais betrayed us all. Yeah, I'm on my way up there, Kareem. I'm gonna kill that motherfucker with my bare hands. Not this way. We've laid mines on the 2 floors above us. Go through the 2nd block as high as you can. Then you can come back.
Go through the 2nd block as high as I can. Ah, alright. Is that a zombie or is that like a friend of his? I can't tell. Well, I think that's another plus for not letting Kareem die. I don't know, maybe there would be a different character doing that if I did kill him. But, yeah. Ow. Oh no, it's a zombie. Bye. Ooh. Okay then.
Kareem managed to warn you, did he not? I was right to shoot him. Some might think it unsporting of me, taking aim at you like that.
I liked you better when you didn't talk so damn much.
But I consider it a matter of, let us call it, leveling the playing field. That is a term you can understand, yes?
Alright, camouflage, bitch. I don't know. Kareem might not have given you away had you not shot him. Like, I think your logic is a bit backwards here, sir. Alright, it's upstairs. Oh, hey, no, I recognize this. Okay. I think I have been here before. Or this is at least very similar to the tutorial. What the fuck are you running at? Bitch. Oh, Jesus. Fuck it. I don't care. here? No, nothing. Okay. Get out of my way. Fuck off. Now what? Huh. Oh, Jesus. Okay. This is ridiculous. There we are. Oh, fuck. Here we are. Oh, wow. Excuse me. Excuse me. Out of my fucking way. Stop trying to hit me. Stop it. Nope. Oh, Jesus Christ. Christ. Okay.
Allow me to add to your suffering.
I'm pretty sure they can't climb ladders, so I should be okay. Okay, so that's where Brecken is currently. Okay, so this isn't the same as the tutorial. It's just similar in certain aspects. But do I have to kill him on the... Oh, that would be interesting. Killing him on the crane. Sorry. Okay. There we go. No? Up here? There we are. I think. Whoa, God, that was close. Oh, shit. Run. God damn it. Alright, there we go. Whoa. Jesus. No? You gonna answer?
Never.
You sure about that? You when you were like a kid?
Consider yourself a member of an exclusive club.
Where are you hiding, you fucker?
Sad for you, it is a club I mean to disband.
Oh god, that was close. Almost didn't make that. Whoa, shit! Okay. I didn't realize there was a separation there. Oh, you fucker. Okay, so he should be dead. Dude? Okay, good. I was gonna say, if that fucker grabs me, this game is trying to make me lose. Okay. Oh god, Jesus. That was close. What time is it? It's almost night again. Alright. I got it.
So consumed with emotion. Burning with the need for revenge. Eaten alive by hatred. Such feelings make you weak.
Do they? Okay. This fucking cricket bat is in the way of my vision. Oh, God. Alright, done with that. Now what? Wow. Uh-oh, game's freezing. Sorry about that, the game crashed. So, yeah. That was fun. Bit anticlimactic because I'm pretty sure I'm right next to Rais now.
So, face to face again. I guess that means I don't need this anymore.
With or without it, Suleiman, you're dead.
Come now, Crane. Do not pretend you don't care. How many lives depend on this disc? Hundreds? Thousands? Perhaps billions.
Oh shit! Did I fail?
You are right about one thing, Crane. Suleiman is dead.
No, goddamn it! A QTE, really?
He died with his brother in this city. You don't even belong here, Crane. You don't know what suffering is.
Ow. Ah, no, 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 no.
You will suffer alongside me.
Doesn't look like it.
Yes, go on. You cannot resist. Do it, I won't fight you. Just as you killed Tahir. Do it!
Fuck you, asshole. You want me to make my own rules? Rule number 1. You're gonna spend the rest of your goddamn life in fucking agony.
Do not leave me like this, Crane. Prove you are a man.
God.
Take your vengeance.
Well, you just shut the fuck up!
The tables have turned. In the blink of an eye. If I were trapped in Haran, this one would have killed me. But now you dangle on the edge of life and death. While the GRE wait to take me to a hospital. I give you the honor of deciding your own fate. Hand me the disc, so that there is at least a chance that Haran might live. And I will make your death painless. Or resist, and doom the city along with you. You have until the count of 5. 1, 2...
All right. Here! Let's ask for a decision, asshole! What do you want?
Rais already told us he had that dead scientist data. All we're interested in is the cure. We're offering you a chance here. Get the rest of the research and come with us.
And I can think of a lot of reasons to tell you to go fuck yourself, but why don't we just pretend for a minute that you don't think I'm stupid? You need the cure. It's here, in the city, somewhere. And as long as it is, you won't try to pull any ministry-style bullshit.
Crane, why do you even give a fuck what happens to these people? You don't belong here. This is just a job for you.
No, not anymore, it's not. I'll be in touch when I've decided what to do next.
Crane? Hello, Crane, can you hear me? It's Camden.
Yeah, Doc, I hear you. What's going on?
The analysis just finished on the tissue samples. The results are... well, I don't think the word phenomenal is too strong. Crane, if you can recover Zara's data, I'm certain a cure is within reach.
All right. Hey, we'll talk about it next time I see you.
This is Io speaking. Get to the nearest safe house and wait until dawn. Good night, and good luck.
Alright, well that was the end to Dying Light. I've been going at this game for what? Jesus. I'd say about a month and a half, close to 2 months, somewhere in that region. And I'll be honest with you, I've really enjoyed doing this series. It's probably I think it's my second longest series I've ever done on this channel, right behind Dragon Age Inquisition. And I'll be honest with you, this game was definitely, or at least in my opinion, it was definitely an improvement on Dead Island, which, you know, a lot of people think this is sort of the spiritual successor to that game. You know, it just shares a lot of similar qualities. And I think one of the main things that Dying Light had that Dead Island didn't was its parkour mechanics, which is, you know, it's probably the best parkour game I've ever played. Up to this point, this is definitely the most smooth and transitional parkour game that I've ever played, bar none. I mean, you know, games like Assassin's Creed has gotten me to the point where I felt like there is no way to play or to make a good parkour game, but this one really showed it. It was able to, you know, make it to where you can make precise decisions on where you want to go, and it doesn't stick you to certain places, but at the same time it makes it fluid and quick, which is really interesting. You know, like Assassin's Creed, for example, it used to have the precise thing, but it would stick you to walls a lot of the time. It would take you to places that you didn't always, or sorry, it used to have really precise, you know, places that it would take you, but it was very, you know, slow and lumbering. But then, you know, as the series went on, it made it more fluid, but at the same time, it would stick you to walls far more often. I kind of mixed those two for a second. This game has a very good medium between those two, and that's definitely something that should be commended on. Great mechanics in that aspect, and quite frankly, I think great mechanics all around. It was, its strongest points were definitely its mechanics. You know, just the between the parkour and the combat, you know, the shooting, the melee, you know, there was enough variety in weapons to where I rarely got bored, you know, between like baseball bats, like these blunt objects, you know, you had like, you know, swords and stuff like that. You could slice people in half. Really fucking cool, all around. And the gunplay was few and far between for the most part, but that's probably a good thing because the melee was, you know, definitely the point at which they put more, you know, dynamic aspects to it. There really were only two types of weapons when it came to guns. It was just like, this is a pistol, this is a rifle. Oh, there was also a shotgun. That's true. So there were, you know, different variants, but for the most part, you know, melee was where the dynamic stuff came from. So all around, just gameplay was great. Now, when it came to story, I'll be honest, this was a pretty cookie-cutter story. Like, there wasn't really very much innovation when it came right down to it. I touched on the characters earlier in the playthrough, and I'll go and talk about it a little bit now. I don't have anything against Crane, don't have anything for him. You know, he was a decent character, I suppose. Nothing really stuck out with him, but I felt like the voice acting was tremendous. That's one thing that... shit, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but that's one thing that the voice actor for this for Kyle Crane did a great job at, was, you know, giving certain inflections that other voice actors might not be able to give. To give you a little bit of a history on who this guy is who played Crane, he was also actually Ezio Auditore from the Assassin's Creed series, which, by the way, I'll go ahead and shut up for a second. Congratulations, you've defeated Rais and finished the campaign. Special outfits unlocked. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, so as I was saying, to this day, I still feel like Ezio Auditore is probably one of the most interesting voice acting show or displays I've ever seen in my life of playing video games, because it was the same guy throughout all three games, from 2 to Revelations. It was the same dude. And it just, if you go back and play the very beginning of Assassin's Creed 2, you would see that, you know, his voice was very young because he was like 16, so it was kind of lighter, and it just became more grisly and more, just kind of wear down as his life continued into his 60s and 70s even, which is really interesting. So the voice actor that they got for Kyle Crane, definitely, you know, tremendous. I wouldn't say he's like superstar level of Nolan North or Troy Baker, but he's probably just the tier below that. Anyway, so speaking of supporting characters, you know, Brecken was, you know, he was just a guy. You know, most of the characters in this game were not that interesting, albeit, you know, they tried to make some interesting characters in the quest that you started playing. You know, between those two brothers and the guy with the military helmet that blew himself up. You know, there were a lot of, or the conspiracy theorists who thought aliens were, you know, like the reason why the outbreak occurred, which, I don't know. I mean, you can't say they didn't. This is a game after all. That could be the case. But you just had all these dynamic characters, but none of them were really interesting. It was almost as if they were trying so hard to make it like a, whoa, these guys are crazy. But in reality, it was just like, this is just some dude I'm gonna meet maybe 2 or 3 times at maximum, and I'm never gonna think about him again. Whereas the main supporting characters, people like Jade, people like Brecken, what was that girl in Old Town? I can't remember her name right now. Jordan or something like that? I can't remember. Whatever. Dr. Camden, Zara, these are all like they were just people. They weren't, you know, they weren't interesting. They weren't dynamic. They weren't, you know, anything. They were just people. And to an extent, I can appreciate that. But at the same time, when you have nobody that's that intriguing, it's kind of like, you know, you got to have a really good story in that case. And the story wasn't that tremendous. It wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it was kind of just there. I don't know, just certain aspects of this game felt like they were trying to be Far Cry almost, with the side missions and stuff like that. That's just an observation that I kind of picked up. So I guess the main supporting character that kind of bugged me was Jade. And I'll be honest with you, some of my thoughts on this aren't completely original. There was an article written by one of the developers for The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, if I'm not mistaken. And Total Biscuit actually shared it on his Twitter. And it was an interesting point, and I mentioned this earlier in the playthrough, but they kind of gave her this, you know, perfect persona. Like, she was understanding, she was kind, she was a badass. Like, there was no bad quality about her. There was no flaw in anything that she did. She didn't have any bad characteristics. And when you do something like that, it's really limiting. And it just felt like they were doing that because she was a woman, and they didn't want, you know, the, you know, feminist frequency or something like that. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not saying specifically Anita Sarkeesian, but people of that sort of, you know, ilk, to kind of get mad at them for having her be a character who has flaws, which is something that is prevalent in the development, you know, these development companies. They don't want people, you know, having some sort of controversy over how this character is misogynistic or this character is racist or anything like that. So they, in a way, infantilize isn't the right word, but in a way, I guess they infantilize characters like that by, you know, limiting what they can be by making them essentially perfect. So Jade, I felt like, could have been so much more, but because the writers, this is just my perception, and, you know, that developer's perception, they were trying to refrain from getting called out on being misogynistic in any sense. They made her, like, almost too perfect, and that was something that, you know, struck my interest. Anyway, graphics were fantastic. I mean, this game, when it first came out, there were some, there were definitely a few problems when it came to performance, but as they release patches, this game has definitely turned out to be pretty solid. You know, the graphics are fantastic, and it consistently ran at 60 frames by the time I reached, like, probably part 15 or 20. So a good 2 weeks after the game came out, they polished up any of the issues that there might have been. You know, it's kind of funny to me because, like, I was just watching a playthrough of Far Cry 4 the other day. And, sorry, I know I'm going really off the rails, but, you know, whatever. But I was watching a playthrough of Far Cry 4 the other day, and I saw that there were still those flickering shadows and stuff like that. It's like, that game's been out for fucking, like, 5 months now, and it still has those issues. It's like, that's unacceptable. And it's just like, you look at somewhere like Techland, like they fucked up, they had certain issues, they fixed them, or at least to my perception they fixed them, because I'm not having problems anymore. Whereas games like, Assassin's Creed Unity, or pretty much any Ubisoft game that came out in 2014, had problems when it came out, and pretty much none of the problems have been fixed. And so I just feel like some of the, even, really big companies like Ubisoft can look at Techland and think, maybe we should kind of, actually try a little bit. Just a thought. But, like, Dying Light, I'll be honest with you, I feel like this game was better than 80% of the games that came out last year. Not even 80. Like, I'd say 90%. Like, there were only probably 2 or 3 games I enjoyed in 2014 more than Dying Light. I'm not going to list them off the top, or I'm not going to list them right now, because I would have to give explanations. It would just take forever. But I just feel like this game was just so much better than a lot of the stuff I encountered last year. And I think that says a lot, What else is there? Stories cookie cutter, characters were meh. Rais was there. Rais was kind of like prototypical bad guy. There wasn't anything about him that I really, I never hated the guy. There are certain villains that I truly despise. I mean, you look at, it's not a video game character, but like Joffrey from Game of Thrones, for example. You despise Joffrey, that little douchebag. And then you look at somebody like, Jesus, what was the guy's name? Voss. Okay, you look at Voss from Far Cry 3. That is one of the most intriguing villains, original villains, that a video game has created, I think, pretty much ever. So, when I look at Rais, I feel like I've been kind of spoiled in that sense, and so when I look at Rais, I'm like, I don't have any feelings towards this guy. He's just there. I'm going to mention content, by the way, because I already mentioned quests, but just side quests and main quests in general, there was a lot of variety, and that's one thing I got to give them credit. Like, this game cost $60... Oh, oops, sorry, I bumped the mic. This game cost $60, by the way, none of which I paid for. I want to thank the guy who bought it, again, Procrastinator Joel on Steam. He bought this game for me, and I really appreciate it. But if I had paid $60 for this, I would come away feeling like I got $60 worth out of this game. Like, I wouldn't have felt like, I was playing The Order 1886 or, Watch Dogs or something, where it's like, there's, Watch Dogs in particular, something like that. There's so much open space, but there's really not that much to really do where I feel like I'm actually doing something. So, in that sense, I feel like this game was kind of similar to something like Fallout almost. Not the same, of course, and definitely not the same caliber, but sort of like a poor man's Fallout in the sense that, like, the quests were truly dynamic. There's the simple stuff, like Alex and I were joking a few parts ago, like, where, these quests are, in essence, basically, okay, this is a thing, this needs your help, go do. But in all sincerity, that's pretty much every game and their quests, it's like, go do. That's really what it comes down to. But I feel like Dying Light told us to go do in a variety of different ways, if you understand what I mean. And that's something that I feel like a lot of games are lacking these days. So yeah, I think that Dying Light is solid, honestly solid, and for the first time in a while, I felt like this really was worth $60. Even if it's not, an amazing, like, holy shit, this is great game, it's a quality game. And I think that's, sadly, after coming out of 2014, quality is really where I want to start. Just find something that isn't broken, find something that isn't just bad, just have something that works and is at least somewhat fun to play. And Dying Light achieved all of that. So I've been going on about this for like 10 or so minutes now. I'm going to go ahead and stop, because I'm sure that I'm going to go into territory where I'm just rambling even more incessantly than I have been. So I hope you guys enjoyed this playthrough. I certainly enjoyed making it, and I hope you enjoyed my little, ramblings about the game afterward. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, I guess, and I'll try to figure out a new game to start up pretty soon. So yeah, with that, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like and subscribe and all that, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright, run, okay. I can run.